Alright, two things before I start the rant here. One, sorry for the sporadic uploads in case some of you are actually invested in my channel, which I don't fucking see why you would be. But it's mainly because I only really rant when there's something that has really affected me or I really need to get off my chest. And a lot of times I just don't give a shit. Or I'm too smooth-brained and lobotomized to actually... Second, don't mind these two giant zits on my face. I'm waiting for some acne treatment stuff to actually start working. Oh, sorry, that's my cat, Mr. Kitty. Say hi to Mr. Kitty before I start the rant. He's an adorable little mew.
Say hi. Hi.
Say hi to YouTube.
Hi.
He's purring like a lawnmower. But anyways, I got cat fur on my face. Oh, there's my other cat. Cat fur. Really quick, this is my other cat, Tanner. Say hi to YouTube. Oh, I guess she doesn't want to say hi. Do you?
You want to say meow?
Alright. Now, back on the subject. You know, just last week, I've received a very interesting Discord ping, or Discord DM, from a completely random user that I have never seen the username of. I don't know how common of an occurrence this is, but they claimed that they were an artist and were looking for commissions. I don't know what kind of scam artist you are, or how desperate you are to get paid. This isn't the way, bud. That's not how you get money. That's how you get yourself blocked. And in some cases, reported directly to Discord. Cause, that's some pretty fishy behavior, pal. And then another thing, why do people unironically use, like, oh, you're gay, oh, you're a woman, as an insult? That's not an insult. It's fucking 2026. People are allowed to be a woman. People are allowed to be transgender or non-binary or gay or lesbian. As long as they're not killing people for fun or burning someone's house down because they were told no, I think they're perfectly fine existing. But the moment they do that one unforgivable, unspeakable, absolutely revolting thing, that's the moment where I start wanting them dead. And it takes a lot for me to want someone dead, like, genuinely. Which is how I can comfortably say that I want some world leaders, like Kim Jong-un, gone. I'm probably forbidden from North Korea, and I had no intentions of going there to begin with, so I don't fucking care. You are a terrorist, Jong-un. You are only a fucking terrorist, and that is all you're ever going to be. Oh, also, let me just quick jump to a different conclusion now that I have my two absolutely beautiful cats, Tanner, who is a girl, and Mr. Kitty over there, who is, hence the name Mr. Kitty, he's a boy. Why do some of you sick bastards on this planet abuse animals? Or, like, sell them to fight? What did they personally do to you? Because it would take a lot for me to believe that they deserve it. Especially because I've grown up around animals basically all my life. This one, Tanner, she's been with me since I was 5. And I'm 18 turning 19 here in like 2 days. So let me actually do some quick math. For 14 years, I've had this absolutely precious angel girl with me. Look at her. How can you hate this adorable little angel? She is the sweetest cat ever. She is purring like she is meowing and purring up a storm because I'm petting her and she loves it. Oh, sorry, I got an itchy spot. That's my bad, Tanner. And then, just recently, I had one of my cats pass away because he ended up being hideously anemic to the point where he would be needing to live miserably off of transfusions for the rest of his life. No cat deserves that. He had to get put down because of it. I still miss him. Rest in peace, Oreo. Yes, that was his name. And then recently, just as a coping mechanism, we got Mr. Kitty. He is everything Oreo was. He was sweet, cuddly, vocal. I don't know. You probably maybe heard him meowing earlier, unless you couldn't hear it over my blaring fans. But he's vocal, he's sweet, he's cuddly, he's soft, he is again, he's sweet, he's friendly, he loves people. There are some cats that are like hostile, but then again, they must have had something done to them, or they must have been raised in a certain way that makes them live their life like that. I'm going to quote a random stand-up comedian. Some of you, especially if maybe at least one of you watching here is from Australia. Speaking of, if there are any people who watch from Australia, greetings from America, the one country you'll probably never want to visit. You can take it from me. I don't support Trump. Far from it, actually. And I respect you people. Especially because you have to live with dinosaur-sized centipedes, spiders, and whatever else all the time. And don't forget the motherfucking British. Okay, that was a joke. Some of the British people out there aren't too bad. But there are some, and there are definitely some exceptions. But I digress. Some of you Australians may or may not know of a stand-up comedian who uses a puppet for his shows, his name being Randy Feltface. Or at least maybe that's the puppet's name, maybe Randy's the actual human's name, I digress. Anyways, I am going to use one of his direct quotes. You can tell me to be relaxed and self-centered, or not self-centered, whatever the term is. You can tell me to relax and center myself as when you actually take the time to research what that actually means. In the meantime, go back to taking photos of the froth on your coffee and shut the fuck up. Because you are genuinely the most hypocritical people I have ever had the displeasure of hearing speak. You tell other people to accept yourself and love other people when you yourself are the most insecure, racist, and sexist bigots that have ever walked the earth. You tell other people to accept themselves when you look in the mirror and think weighing 120 pounds is overweight. You tell people to accept any and all genders when you walk home and you immediately strike your wife in the face with whatever you're holding because you don't have a martini in your hands the moment you walk through the door like you're some sort of 1950s husband. The hypocrisy in the statements I hear from these kinds of people. Getting around acting like there's some professional yoga coach when the most they've gone is a yoga trip in Bali, and thinking they can get around in low-slung pants and a plaid. Speaking of, why are you dressing like that shit? That's a mockery. That has to be an insult to people who genuinely believe that yoga has some sort of healing property. I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm saying the people that I personally had try to tell me that it heals are the most hypocritical, genuinely stupid people I've ever met. I don't call people stupid, as a normal insult. I don't call people stupid unless the evidence shows that they literally are. I don't call people racist for one out-of-pocket comment. I call them racist if I have enough evidence to be fully correct when I say it. I call people homophobic when I have personally witnessed acts of homophobia or have enough evidence to call someone homophobic. I don't call someone a pedophile until I know the full fucking story, which is why I can confidently say that one of the many Roblox YouTubers who has been outed as one, named Loppy, is 100% one. It's how I can comfortably say that Mini Lad is a pedophile. Because there are mountains of evidence against that shit. And I don't know if I've already said this, but when I was talking about the Zeal and Ren situation, that was before it was confirmed that Ren made all of that bullshit up. So whoever's trying to say, oh, you've never apologized, here's my apology now. Zeal, I'm sorry for not seeing the full story. Like, that shit, that information didn't come to me until, like, a solid 5 hours, until a solid 5 hours after I stopped recording that and actually published it. 5 hours later, I discovered that the whole thing was a bunch of fucking bullshit, and that Ren was trying to get you arrested for something she consented to. What the fuck, Ren? Genuinely, what the fuck? What gives you the right to be considered human still after that shit? You tried to dehumanize someone else for some type of activity you consented and, for as far as I'm concerned, demanded he participated in. Plus, how do we know that those bruises and stuff that you allegedly caught on yourself, how do we know those weren't just some random stock photos or Reddit post images that you pulled up from the internet and used to forge this entire case? We don't know, exactly. So how can we trust you? Especially now that it's been confirmed that Zeal is innocent. I'll tell you who's not innocent, though. The person who DM'd me trying to insult me by calling me gay. First off, you don't get to make that call because you don't fucking know who I am in real life. And if you do, you would know better than anyone, especially if you went to school to me before I graduated, you would know better than anyone that I have never once given a cue to being anywhere close to that. And if you want to suddenly backtrack or like double down and say I'm homophobic, I've never once made a homophobic comment. I have never once shown an ounce of homophobia. And if you want to lie and say I have, go right the fuck ahead because you don't have any evidence to support your claim. And on top of that, why do you think being called gay is an insult? It's 2026, not 2012. Get over yourself. Get with the times. Homophobia is not a joke anymore. It's fucking hate speech. It's not a bit. It's not for the vine. It's fucking hate speech. I need a breather a bit. It's fucking steaming in here. My fans are doing jack shit. Oh my god. I don't know why I chose now to record. I just can't fucking sleep. It's 1:15 in the morning as I'm recording, and for some fucking reason, despite the fact that I have fans and devices in my room that make sure cold air is, I guess, created and blown around my room, it's currently 84 degrees Fahrenheit outside as of where I live. And for some reason, my room wants to also be 84 degrees. And I would know. I have a thermostat attached to one of my fans here. It says it's 84 right now. The exact temperature as it is outside. But now we get to the part that I've been dreading speaking. Mainly because I hate talking about this because I own up to almost all of the actual criteria of it. And I don't like talking about it because I don't like outing myself more than I already do in everyday life. Why is it that suddenly when you do something that the other person doesn't like, you're a chud or you're a cornball? Let me tell you what an actual chud is. A chud is like me.
someone who lives with their mom, someone who spends a lot of their time playing video games, and someone who hates the idea of actually having to work a job. And there's nothing wrong with being a chud, because it's not like you're killing someone's family. It's not like you're breaking into someone's house and pissing in their cereal. You're not doing any of that shit. So why do people think they get to just insult you that way? And a cornball, or another thing, LARPing. Why is that an insult now? Because it's completely useful. LARPing is cosplaying. Cosplaying is LARPing. Playing D&D is LARPing. Because you know what LARP stands for? It's an acronym for live action roleplay. Playing an RPG like Final Fantasy, can't that technically be considered LARPing? Pretending to be something you're not, isn't that literally what you've grown up with? Like, especially if you were in my time, like, especially if you were in growing up the way that I and many other people have, you can't deny that you've played pretend before. You can't deny that. And suddenly that's LARPing and should be frowned upon? No. No, it shouldn't. I should have every right to pretend to be something I'm not. I'm not that one Reddit supermod looking motherfucker who claimed to be Harry Dresden looking for a girl and trying to break into some innocent person's house. That's LARPing. Using a false identity as an excuse to commit a crime. That's what LARPing should be considered. Being a cornball, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with dropping a corny line. That's like trying to say it's illegal to want to be a voice actor, or a gymnast, or a wrestler, or something like that. What, I'm corny because I'm trying to become a voice actor? I'm corny because I respect people for who they are? I'm a chud? And I'm a chud and that's a bad thing? I'm a chud because I accept the fact that some people are gay and we just have to accept that? That's what makes me a chud. No, a chud, like I said before, is everything I've said I was. Someone who lives with their mom, hates the idea of working, simply because of nowadays, it's basically impossible for us Gen Z kids to actually land a solid job because I forgot the name of them. They were like, great, of course, I forgot what they were called. But they were a specific type of job that a lot of modern day boomers have. Where it was like mundane shit like sorting papers into folders, making sure that everyone is in agreement over a choice or some shit like that. Those were easy to come by. Those just don't exist anymore nowadays because, well, you know, we're advancing in technology. And on top of that, they're just gotten shittier. I used to work part-time at a Dairy Queen, and I just recently found out over one no-call, no-show, yes, one, not multiple, one, uno, singular, one no-call, no-show, because I was literally so sick to my stomach that moving from my bed would quite literally send me into a vomiting fit because of how bad my stomach bug was. Because of that one time I was so feeble and violently sick to grab my phone and call in, that one time I was unable to call in, that gave them the right to fire me. I just was discovered, like, today I discovered I was fired. For what? Being too sick to call in and having to take a different day off because I had to go somewhere out of town to be there as a driver to get my mom back home from chemotherapy? But I'm the bad guy for wanting to be there for her when she's trying to get treated for cancer. Are we fucking serious? That isn't how this fucking works. You don't get to be mad at me because I wanted to be a driver that made sure she got there safely. You don't get to be mad at me for being too physically weak to call in. I was literally so bad, like horribly off and unable to like basically do anything that I could hardly speak. I couldn't move without violently getting sick and having to start vomiting all over again. I couldn't speak without gagging. I was fucking ruined. And that was one time. There was one no-call, no-show last week. One in my entire 3 years of working there. 3, if not 4 years. I don't even know how many years, probably 5 now. I started working there since I was 14. Granted, I took a break in the middle of those 2, 3, 4, however many fucking years, I took a stop because I moved to Sioux City, Iowa, and I wanted to see how different a big school system was in comparison to a small town one like here. I'm not saying why I live here. I'm not going to let some extreme hater track my ass down and find me. Speaking of, if you somehow do find me, go right the fuck ahead. I'm not afraid of you. There's nothing you can do to make me afraid of you. You're all bark and no bite, and you always will be. And even if you had some bite before then, or in order to back your claims up, you would be just proving how pathetic of a human being you are by needing to fight someone because they disagree with your views. You don't see me getting into fistfights because I don't like the fact that they like Marvel Rivals over Fortnite. I don't give a shit about that. I'm not about to fight someone because they prefer Fortnite over PUBG or Power World over Pokemon. Because that's fucking pathetic. That's just, no, you don't do that. It's childish. It's stupid. It's like if I was to try and murder someone because they were dating a woman. It's like, oh my fucking God. Reasoning like this, and thought process like this is the reason why humanity is a mistake. Humanity is a mistake because they form racism, they form segregation, they form terrorist attacks, and anti-Semitism. They form that shit. Lions didn't create that shit. Goldfish didn't make that. We made that shit. We coined those terms. We fit the bill for all of those. And while I do agree that there are some cases where, like, there are animals that can kind of be classified as racist, in all fairness, they don't know any better. We know better. We are supposed to be different from other animals because we evolve. And I'm not saying this to be like, oh, hey, abuse animals. They're so different from us. No. They are different from us, but they're just as deserving as like a loving family or a warm home or a habitat. Speaking of, stop fucking destroying forests, you're a disgusting piece of shit who wants to use that place for a slave plantation and you fucking know it. Anyways, sudden hostile rant aside. Seriously, why are we deforesting? Why are we doing deforestation, like, unironically?
Why are we trying to like fumigate animals because they're just because they're different from humans? Why are we trying to compare like black people or Asians or Koreans or Vietnamese to monkeys or like lesser creatures, if you can even fucking call them that, just because they're not Caucasian white? I'm just gonna say it. I would rather be literally any other nationality than Caucasian white if it meant I could still hold up to my beliefs and treat other people the way they want to be treated. Speaking of, I'm just gonna say it. If you treat other people like shit, you want to be treated like shit. Because otherwise you wouldn't have the absolute dumbassery, the level of smooth-brained idiocy to treat other people like shit. If you yourself don't want to be treated like shit, don't treat others like shit. If you yourself don't want to have your house burned down, don't burn someone else's house down. If you yourself don't want to kill someone and sell their kidney on the dark web, if you yourself don't want to have that fate happen to you, don't do it to someone else. If you don't want to be trafficked, don't commit human trafficking. Why are these basic principles of reap what you sow and acknowledge that karma will always exist completely ignored? No one is above the law. No one is above karma. No one is above the you reap what you sow philosophy. No one gets to be discriminatory unless they also want to be discriminated against. Just like, back to that thing back to the thing that I mentioned earlier this video. If you don't want to be scammed by someone lying and saying they're an artist and want your money for a commission, don't pull that shit with other people. 'Cause yeah, I can see through that shit. I've had someone DM me something similar to that around, I'd say about 60 times now, and yes, I have been counting. It is definitely up there in the 50s or 60s. And every time, I've known it's a scam. Because every time I've heard someone actually take a deal like that, they ended up getting finessed out of something like $500 or however much the commissions claimed to pay or claimed to cost. Sorry, my cat Tanner's back. Hey, Nanner. Want to say hi? Want to contribute to this rant? And then, this is gonna be one hell of a controversial topic, which I don't fucking care. Some people may not know that there is a genuine mental, and some may call it a disorder, some may call it just like a quirk, known as age regression, where most often in response to trauma, the mind will revert back to a younger state. Once again, usually as a coping mechanism for something traumatic or unpleasant, say like abuse or witnessing someone die. Two big whys I have for this. One, why do people hate the concept? It's something that can't be avoided. And two, why do people use it as a method of farming clout? If you were a genuine age regressor, I doubt you'd be posting it on shit like Reddit or Tumblr. If you genuinely have trauma-induced incontinence and have to wear fucking diapers because something fucked your mind and body up so bad that your entire functions have decided to say, nope, fuck this, I'm out. If that's genuinely happened to you, I am so sorry for these people. I'm so sorry for you having to put up with these dipshits who are lying and saying they suffer through the same thing. Now, if you're genuinely incontinent, like, I don't see, like, why you would actually share that online. But, like, even if you aren't, it's perfectly fine. I'm not going to, like, you shouldn't have to get shot down because you like, say, like, that you like having a fidget toy that looks even remotely childish. See, like, right here is an example. I have this squashy burger thing as a stress toy. Looks childish, does it not? Yeah, I still have it as an 18-year-old young man. Shut the fuck up and grow up. Or let me point out another thing. I still have my plush of Max from the original How the Grinch Stole Christmas from when I was 9. There are many people who still have plushes like this, who still hug them, who still hold them every night to sleep. And some people have perfectly justifiable reasons for it, because either they're touch deprived or they've been traumatized. Stop fucking judging them about it. It's disgusting. You people who judge other people for this type of shit are disgusting. You people who fake having the similar conditions for clout are disgusting. It's about the same caliber as people who pretend to have DID or ADHD or autism or depression or shit like that. I literally have depression. I literally have anxiety, ADHD. I can't focus worth a shit. I get sidetracked at the slightest inconvenience, as you've seen by the numerous times I've been shifting focus from rant to rant, from ranting to showing off my cats, to showing off the plush from Max from earlier. This isn't fake. This is just raw, straight ADHD energy. If you really have to look it up, track down whichever hospital has diagnosed me and, like, look to see if you can have access to my medical records, because I guarantee you, they're not going to say I'm lying. They're going to say something along the lines of, oh, this person has quite literally been diagnosed with ADHD. They have been proven to show signs of it. And on that topic, I heard the dumbest fucking thing recently on, like, a medical journal thing. So I'm just going to say this flat. No. You cannot just have something without being diagnosed with it. Because until you're diagnosed with it, you're speculated to have it. It does not mean you have it. It means you are currently being investigated to see if you actually do or not. And chances are the people who say they do, unlike me and many other people on this planet, you don't. And once again, I have to divert the problem because I remember way back when people used to get mad about candy canes because they didn't like the fact that they were shaped like a J, as in Jesus. Listen to me. Look at me and listen to me. Genuinely. Whatever alt tab you have my rant running on, close out of it and listen. It's called a candy cane. This is what a cane looks like. We don't hold it like this unless it's an umbrella handle, or unless we're improvising and using it to spell the letter J in something like, oh, I want it, like in a school project, oh, you're supposed to spell your name using candy or random items or some shit like that. That's the only time a candy cane is in the shape of a J. Otherwise, it's in the shape of a cane, hence the name candy cane. And a lot of people are trying to say that I am the bad guy because I don't like how women have been especially treated as of recent, with shit like abortion rights getting removed.
Will you listen to me, you fucking Nazi? And I'm being a gentleman by not using another word to describe you. What if we refer back to the Bible? The actual Bible, and not the forged one you created to side with whatever sick ends that you've created for yourself, to benefit yourself. Because I guarantee you, whatever you're saying the Bible has said to you is incorrect. The Bible has never once said that abortion is unacceptable. It has numerous times encouraged it. The Bible has never once said that the only correct religion is Christianity, or that racism is completely acceptable. Racism falls under the sin of wrath. The sin of wrath. As does bigotry. Pedophilia falls under the sin of lust. The billionaires who are currently paying the government officials to raise taxes on everyone who isn't a billionaire are committing the sin of greed. So if you want to talk about the Bible and the virtues and the sins, there are some good examples for you to go off of. Discrimination is showing wrath against people or societies or communities or whatever else that are undeserving of it. It is the sin of wrath. It is wrathful. It is hateful. It is an insult to the people who have worked so hard to get to wherever they may be now. I can't think of anything else at the moment. I have basically talked about everything on my mind. I could get into like randomly ranting about some like random video game trivia or mechanics or rating shit like that. I don't have any proper editing software yet, so I can't like pull up a screen of me using a tier list or something to rank them. But do feel free to comment if you actually would listen to that shit. But I suppose like this video if you actually like it, subscribe if you genuinely give a shit about like notifications, or if you actually want to stay tuned. I'm not saying you have to, I'm just saying if you want to, go right the fuck ahead. I'm not stopping you. I'm not like saying you have to. I'm not saying it would be, oh, it would save my family if you didn't. No, I'm not gonna pull that corny shit. That's what beggars do. But anyways, I'll see you in whenever the fuck I may release another upload. But seriously, the one thing I will actually, like, genuinely beg with you, please be 100% like transparent with what you want to see, with like, if you would actually want to see me rant about some random video games or mechanics or some shit like that. If you actually want to say that, or you actually want to see that, please just say it. I'm not against it. There are some topics I will not talk about, either because I just don't like them, or because I know nothing of them. But other than that, feel free to tell me. Say, hey, I want to see you rank, or I want to hear you rank, or give opinions on every Mortal Kombat mechanic, or hey, I want you to give me a full-blown analysis of some random Roblox game that you've played. Because I won't hesitate so long as it's one, something I don't have like a vitriolic hatred towards, or two, something I actually know about and know enough about to provide some decent commentary on. But anyways, I've been recording for about 40 minutes now. I should probably drop this. It's almost 2 a.m. I still have to get this posted. See ya.